Peter, it's going to be 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I wish we had a lot more,
So do I.
but we don't. I'm going to put the battery in and ask you please to count us down.
Okay.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off.
You've written novels, you've written poetry, you've written straight histories, you've written cultural histories, you've written biographies. Would you say that you have a voice as a writer, or does it shift?
I think it's a voice. It's like asking a composer who does sonatas and string quartets if he has a voice. It doesn't matter the amount of work you do or the variety. It depends upon the vision behind it.
Which of these disciplines do you most enjoy doing?
I enjoy them all equally. They all have a different function. For each of those books is for me like a chapter in an unfinished book, which will finish at the time of my death.
You've written another biography, Wilkie Collins. How do you choose your biographies? You've done Shakespeare, you've done Newton, you've done Blake, you've done Dickens. How do you choose them?
They come to me, I don't go to them. If there's one general principle I use, it is that they should really be born in or near London.
Who do you think is the person who's made the biggest impact on the life of this country, ever?
William Blake.
And by person, I mean within this country, from this country. Blake.
Yes, I think Blake
Why?
is the most powerful and most significant philosopher or thinker in the course of English history.
Can you tell me a bit about the role of time in your writing?
That's what it's all about. Time, the echoic effects of time, the continuities of time, the feeling that time is behind most of our motion.
So you're looking for more than a sense of the here and now in your works?
Oh God, yes, I'm looking for everything else. I'm looking for the invisible agencies and the unseen powers that are not detectable by conventional history.
Can we talk a bit about the relationship in your writing between people and place, between people and location?
In my opinion, people are affected by location. I have a phrase, territorial imperative, by means of which a street, an alley, a house, and the inhabitants thereof are deeply affected by the nature of the terrain and by the history of the terrain beneath their feet.
Do you walk the places that you write about?
Yes, I do. I walk as far as I can. I've been walking in London now for 45 years.
What so fascinates you about London?
Its power, its majesty, its darkness, its shadows.
How much do you read about the characters you write about?
I read as much as has been written about them.
And where do you go for your research?
I come here to my office. The books are sent to me and I peruse them one by one.
Tell me how many books you might work on in any one given day.
3 would be a normal number. So you would have the biography or history I was writing, one of each, and then you'd have my preparations for the next project.
Do you develop relationships with the people you write about?
No, not really. I prefer to remain apart.
How do you do that? How do you remain emotionally apart?
Well, you just do. It's like having characters in a novel. You don't like or dislike the characters. I don't like or dislike my biographical subjects.
Do you think it's important not to blur the lines between fiction and non-fiction, so between novel writing and writing biographies?
I've been accused of blurring the lines, but in fact, in actual practice, I tend to remain within the confines of the discipline of each one.
How much do you read, apart from the subjects you're writing about?
I have no time to read anything else. I read something like 300 or 400 books on each subject.
So how did you come to be a writer yourself?
I think it was just accident.
Elaborate, please, for me.
I became a writer when I was 7 or 8, when I wrote a play about Guy Fawkes, and I never ceased to be interested in writing ever since.
You went to Cambridge University, where you studied English literature.
Yes.
How did that set you up to be a writer?
I don't think it set me up at all. I think setting up came when I returned to England and became a literary editor at The Spectator, where I first learned the art of public writing, you might say.
Are you interested in the way the past intersects with the present? So when you're writing a biography or a history, Are you very conscious of the time and space and place in which you're writing in order to then link that into the past?
Of course, that's my principal theme. It's been the theme I've pursued over a career of 45 years.
And quickly, only a few seconds to go, what do you do outside of writing?
I drink. That's about it.
And that is 5 minutes. 5 minutes with Peter Ackroyd. Thank you very much for giving me your time.
Pleasure.